So, firstly, before we get going, I just want to let you guys know, if you missed last week, this is going to be going on the podcast for the iTunes, really. If you watched Facebook Live, you're okay. If you're listening to iTunes or you're watching the YouTube channel, we had a bit of a mix-up with the iPad, so we don't have the polished copy. We only have that available on Facebook Live. So, apologies for that. We'll try to continue to leave off where we started. What else did I want to talk about when we get going? Before we get going here, this is a mental health podcast. We're three guys opening up about mental health. We're talking about a cognitive behavioral therapy program that lasts 15 weeks, and we are on week number 10.
That's crazy.
2/3 done here. So you guys, if you are interested and you're new to watching our mental health podcast, you can find all that stuff You okay? Need help?
We did it.
Awesome. You can find all of our podcasts previously on our YouTube channel or on the Facebook page. You can get the live feeds and watch through at your convenience. This week was an interesting week. Right now, I know. Let's talk about Paulie first, because Paulie came in and Paulie's not feeling too hot today.
I'm just being human.
Yeah. So tell us what's going on.
I'm just struggling with my anxiety.
Okay.
I'm just worried about the unknown, about stuff that's not even real right now, and I know that. Like, I know that it's not real. I know that this is just temporary.
Yeah.
I'm just struggling with anxiety, and I'm not sleeping very well right now. Or I can get to sleep. I'm trying these relaxations to sleep, but I just can't stay asleep.
Right.
So I'm just struggling with that a little bit. Like, you know, Scotty, sleep.
I'm not you.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah. Just every time I wake up, Scotty.
Have Scott sit in the corner.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what, like that sleep is like too. Like when you don't get sleep, it sucks and wreaks havoc on your anxiety and shit too, right?
Yeah, big time.
So
motivation, like energy, you feel sick.
Yeah, like I feel like today I don't feel good at all. Like my stomach.
Yeah.
I just don't feel well. Like I feel almost flu-y today.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Not sleeping well.
So yeah, I know that I'm gonna be okay. I think that's the best part about doing this stuff is that I'm okay telling everyone that
Absolutely.
I have anxiety. I have no shame in telling anyone that I'm struggling with my anxiety right now. I'm glad I have guys like you that'll support me through it, right?
100%, man. And let's talk about how we can kind of correct some.
Your anxiety is just because of like kind of sports or competitiveness.
Well, like there's a lot of so I'm going back to school and I got big hockey season coming up and work will be starting soon, and then I'll be like doing some events, speaking in the wintertime. So I'm in a really healthy relationship right now. So that's
congrats.
Yeah,
that's something that
is fairly new.
Yeah,
right?
and I've never really been in a healthy relationship before, and so it's kind of like, do I deserve this?
Don't sabotage it.
That's it, right?
Well, that's the pressure, right?
That's the pressure. There's other stuff going on too, like the hockey stuff. I'm such a competitive guy that.
But when is the hockey stuff?
In September. Like it's not.
In September.
Well,
okay.
We have a huge tournament in Boston in September, which I'm kind of gearing up for, and I'm really getting anxious about it.
Anxious or excited?
I'm excited. I'm
okay.
jacked for it, for sure. I'm just anxious because I put so much pressure on us already.
Yeah.
And we haven't even skated yet.
Right.
And so I put this pressure on us to not come home with anything but gold.
So far we're dealing with expectations, which we've gone through before, right? So we're talking about expectations. We're talking about worry.
Yeah.
We're talking about thinking of anxiety as a bad thing rather than excitement.
Yeah.
So there's three things there that we can kind of work through, right?
Gotcha.
So these are the tools. So what are we going to do? We know that when we're worrying, we're
in the future. I got anxiety about the future. I have to stay in the now.
So what's going on right now?
Right now I'm in a healthy relationship, and right now I'm sitting with three of my buddies on the couch.
Right. So there's only good things happening right now.
Yeah, there is really good things happening right now. Yeah.
So that's amazing, man. I mean, let's try to focus on that. And
there's lots of positives. Like, really, there's nothing to be worried about. Like, I just have nothing to be worried about. I'm just worried.
I think if, just from...
things start going good and going...
And you're not used to them?
Yeah.
It's new.
Create it and then you're like, oh...
I'm going to be okay.
It's all going to drop.
Yeah. It's almost like the impending doom, right?
Yeah.
Like...
You'll absolutely be okay.
I think I'll be okay. It's that self-worth stuff.
I know you'll be okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome, man.
I'm bringing you a rose next week. I'm bringing you a rose.
Well, I think that it's a good thing that you're in this healthy relationship now.
Yeah.
And
it's very supportive too.
And it's new to you, and you have these new feelings that you haven't had in a long time, right?
And isn't it nice?
It is nice. It's a huge relief, you know. It's a huge relief to really trust someone to support me and has my back, and no matter what, if I'm going through anxiety, it's unconditional, right? Like I finally realized what unconditional means. And
then if it's unconditional, there's no reason to worry about it.
That's true.
Going down the shitter, right?
True. Yeah. It's just like, man, it's good.
Good.
It's good. It's like the best relationship I've ever been in.
And you deserve that. You know that, right? You gotta believe that.
I'm coming to it.
You gotta believe that.
Yeah, I will. I'm coming to it.
All right.
For sure.
So you feel better?
I do.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks, buddy.
So anytime you get worrying, man, remember just the basics, right?
The 2 in, 4 out.
2 in, 4 out. Just be here. Use your senses. What's going on now? You're in the future.
I've been struggling with it for like 2 weeks now, and I've just been trying to do some tools like meditation a little bit more. And I can't. My meditations aren't like for as long as they were before. I think just because I've had a lot going on in the last 8 weeks. I've spoken 38 times.
Yeah, something is better than nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So as long as you're doing something, just don't put a little bit every day. If it's not as good as the day before, that's okay too. At least you're doing something.
I'll be okay.
Yeah, you will.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
I know you will.
Be.
You want us to move on?
Yeah. Let's move on.
How was your week, buddy?
No, it was good.
Okay, we were a little late starting up because we have a pretty amazing story. I don't know if you want to share that or not.
My story?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Is that cool if we share that? Because that was pretty incredible.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
That's
a higher being, right? Bigger purpose.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's another reminder that we're not alone and that there is something greater out there than ourselves, right?
Yeah, whether it's the universe or whatever you believe in, something bigger than us.
And people always when things happen to you, when they're bad, I always focus on that, being like, oh, why is this happening, and all this kind of stuff. But the point to this story is that whatever happens to you, good or bad, just accept it, be grateful for it, because there's a lesson learned, and it's either saving you from something or there's a bigger story around it. You just don't know what it is, right? And you might not ever know until you cross that line, or whatever. But my story this week was, I was at work and I got stopped through like a spot check or whatever, and my license was suspended, and I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Right.
And so of course was pissed off, right?
Yeah.
They stopped me there. I had to call the owner. He had to come and pick the truck up from the side of the road. The owner got a $300 fine, right? Which is like, I've only been working with these guys for a month or 6 weeks. So I'm like, this is not good.
Right? Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, worried about that, pissed off. One, because if I don't work, then, or if I don't drive, then I don't make money. So there's my living, right?
Right.
So the police have taken that away, which compounds for me because the police did absolutely nothing when it came to the people that robbed me. When I had like 2 witnesses and people ready to testify, and the lazy bastards didn't do anything.
Okay.
And then I get stopped in a ride check because I'm not wearing a seatbelt, and then they take away my fucking ability to make money.
Right.
So you get a lot of anger and aggression towards that, as you can tell.
Right.
So anyways, next couple of days go on, and I'm not working, I'm sitting at home doing nothing, pissed off, stewing in my own, anger. And then I called the owner because I wanted to go to the truck and pick up my timesheets to submit for my hours this week.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know where it is. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know where it is? And he's like, you didn't hear what happened yesterday? I was like, no. He's like, well, they sent guys to Sarnia for a job, and basically, long story short, somebody tried to pass on the other side and a head-on collision into the truck that I was driving, the Volvo, and the kid was killed.
The other kid?
Yeah. And they ran into it. So there you go. If I was driving, it could have been way worse for me, not having a license.
Yeah.
For the company.
Absolutely.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
So a $310 fine is better than
taking a life.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So there's always something bigger,
bigger purpose.
You just have to be open to it and realize that.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm grateful for that I wasn't in that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I mean, it's a terrible scenario regardless, but we're glad you're here. And
bigger purpose, right?
Because I don't know, if that happened and I saw that, I don't know if I would have been able to go on either.
Right.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Killing somebody?
For sure. Well, you're here now, and you still have to do a little bit of a fine payment, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit better than the alternative.
Yeah,
so.
which I don't.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. So this week we had one thing I wanted to address is we had another suicide. A big one.
Yeah, it shook me a little bit.
Lincoln Park.
Chester Bennington.
Yeah, Chester Bennington. So that's, since we started this program, that's 2 big-time musicians.
And they're best friends, eh?
Yeah. Wasn't it on
it was
Chris' birthday?
Yeah. And they died in the same means of suicide.
Really?
They both found were found hanging.
Oh my God! What
you think
way to go?
We can look at that in 2 different ways. That's still so sad that rock stars can have $1 bazillion and that still won't get them well.
Yeah.
They can still be unhappy. But it also tells me that we have a long way to go when it comes to stigma. If rock stars are still feeling stigmatized, then things like this still have to go on.
Absolutely.
We have to continue to smash this stigma so that, I think, he had so much talent.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's such a talented guy, and now that talent goes to a grave.
Yeah.
And the richest place in the world is a gravesite because all those dreams and goals that stigmas killed are in a gravesite. So I think what we're doing, we have to keep this going and really smash this stigma because it doesn't discriminate against
anyone.
Some really talented people.
People you think are happy.
Yeah, think that
because I never heard anything about him before, struggling with depression.
He's struggled. He's a child sexual abuse survivor. He's been through that, and he's come out the other side with it too. He's really got clean. He's been an addict and inactive alcoholism and got clean. He's came out the other side, talked about it with male survivor in the United States. He came out with a big article about his sexual abuse as a kid. Got through it. I just think he was really good friends with Chris Cornell, and that Chris Cornell thing shook a lot of people up. No one saw that one coming. No one saw this one coming, but
no.
I think no one, even in his inner circle, no one saw Chris Cornell dying by suicide.
What do you think that means? I mean, the fact that he's a big part of Chester's a big part of Chris's life. Mm-hmm. Chris decides to take his own life, and then he do you think what do you think the connection is there? I mean,
I think that
I think anxiety and pressure.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's a broken heart.
Yeah.
They were great friends. And
what about his 6 kids though? Isn't it 6 kids?
Yeah, 6 kids and a wife, and that's mental illness, right?
Yeah.
That they see. Maybe I think, and this is maybe just my own personal view on it, that maybe Chester saw that Chris Cornell wasn't suffering anymore, and that was his way of stopping the suffering.
His own suffering.
And they've been through, Chris Cornell has been battling drug addiction for 20 years, right, before he died.
Yeah.
And he was clean, or on the recovery train when he passed away, right?
Right.
So maybe it's influence, maybe it's a broken heart, maybe it's the anxiety and pressure of being a rock star. I would hate to be a rock star.
Right.
I don't know if I'd like it.
Well, the attention's always on you, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're just doing something that you love to do, there's a lot of things that might come with that you're not necessarily a fan of.
Yeah, for sure.
But when it comes to suicide, I was reading one of the comments on our page today, and someone said something along the lines of they'll only miss you when you're gone. And I was thinking, that's a terrible way to view it. I mean, everybody... Why do you want to end your life and affect other people's lives, right?
Exactly.
No one's ever going to be the same. It's just such a... I understand the mentally ill aspect of it, but I think that, and obviously, when people die by suicide, you want to acknowledge their life, but at the same time, all we see is, it's a big deal when they die by suicide, and it's almost like people see them getting this attention, and that can affect some people, and they want the same.
They want a legacy.
Yeah,
right? And
that's not a legacy you want to be responsible for.
Ultimately, your legacy is what you do while you're alive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's not the way that you die; it's what you do when you're alive, right?
Yeah.
And I think, especially for these celebrities that are dying, why are we only focusing on that one shitty moment of their lives? Mm-hmm. We're focusing on Chester Bennington's the last awful moment in his life.
Yeah.
That he had to die from.
Yeah.
And we're not really talking about how talented he was and what he did for the community and what he did for other people and who he really was as a human being. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we talk about well